Well, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another episode with Math with Audrey. I don't know. We're just working this out. So, hopefully you guys are having an awesome day. And as promised, we are going to be doing rational expressions. So, let me zoom in so you can actually see what is a rational expression. So a rational expression is just simply a fraction with the numerator and the denominators. They both have polynomials. So that means we're going to go back to doing some factoring, and we want to see what we can actually simplify or reduce. So nice and easy steps, nothing too crazy. Is first we need to reduce or factor all the polynomials, and then we're going to cancel out what the common factors are that's happening in the numerator and in the denominator. So let's get started. Let's get nice and easy with it. So we're going to say 2x minus 10 over x squared minus 25. Okay, so we have two polynomials. Okay, this is a binomial and this is a binomial because we have that minus sign separating our two terms. So if we're going to factor one at a time, let me cover up the denominator real quick so we can focus our attention on that numerator. So now we have 2x minus 10. So what 2 and 10 have in common is a 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to factor out the 2. I'm just going to take it over here. And when I factor out the 2, what remains is what I divided the 2x and the 10 by 2. So if I do 2x divided by 2, I'm going to get 1x, or just x. And if I divide a negative 10 divided by a positive 2, signs are opposite, so it's going to be a negative, and it'll be a negative 5. So now this is completely factored because inside the parenthesis we have x minus 5. That's what's called a linear function, and it can't be broken down any further. So now we're going to focus our attention on the denominator. So this time we have an x squared. So we're going back to factoring when we have two parentheses. So since we have the two parentheses and my leading coefficient is 1, I can go ahead and split my x's. So there's 1x here and 1x there. So now we need to think, what two numbers multiplied together will give me a negative 25 and add, there's no x. So if there's no x, that means my b value is going to be a 0. So if we were doing, remember back in the day when we were doing the cross, back in the day, I mean like last week. We did it back in the day? Yeah, like last week. We multiplied the a and the c. That gave us our negative 25, and we rewrote our b value, which gives me a 0. So we want to know what two numbers multiply will give me negative 25, and those same two numbers add together to give me 0. So we have 5 times 5 is the only thing that gives me 25, but one of them has to be negative. Good. Thank you, guys. Good job. All right. So now we have minus 5 in one parenthesis, and we have plus 5 in another parenthesis. So we have both items, okay? Both of them are completely factored now. So now what we notice is right here. We have x minus 5, oops, and x minus 5. Since there's one in the numerator and one in the denominator, they both cancel out. So now we don't have anything else that needs to be simplified. Everything is basically what it should be. I'm going to clip this so my wind doesn't take it. And what we have as a solution is that whole number of 2 over x plus 5. And that's what it means to basically simplify a rational expression, right? Yup. So good. Hello, John Lucas. Hello, everyone. Hey, AR. Haven't seen you in a minute. Hope everything's going. All right. And then we have Carly, Maximus, mi gente. How are you? Brandon, you don't miss this out. That's okay. Okay, why did you just write the 2 like that? Because that's how I write my 2s. All right. Okay, so let's get with another one. So let's do, I'm going to use this marker. So let's try, let me step up. Kind of ease us into all this, okay? Let's ease a little bit. So we have a squared minus 9 divided by, okay, this is a 9. Let me make it a little bit longer. Then we have a squared plus 6a minus 27. Yes. Okay. Bring it in just a hair. So we have a squared minus 9. That's my numerator. My denominator is a squared plus 6a minus 27. All right, don't get fired because I cannot afford you. But I appreciate it. All right. So, a squared minus 9. And our friend Pog mentioned earlier how it was easy for us to break down the x squared minus 25. Because x squared minus 25, that was a difference of squares. That means if I took the square root of the 1 that's in front of the x squared, I would get 1. If I took the square root of x, I would get x. And if I took the square root of 25, that would give me 5. But in order for us to get a negative 25, one had to be positive and the other one had to be negative. Okay? Remember, it doesn't matter which way they're arranged, as long as the signs are correct. Same thing is happening with our numerator. Okay? What would I get when I break down our numerator? That's a squared minus 9. Okay, a squared minus 9. Ephraim, you're close. And I have a feeling you're doing the denominator. You're very close. You just have to tweak two things. Okay. So Super Sam, Okay, I'm assuming you're doing the denominator as well. There's one. Oh, okay, you're simplifying. Okay, I see what you're doing now. Got you. All right, Super Sam, got that. This monkey man. The names you guys have, I love. All right, Monkey Man saying the same thing the Super Sam got. All right, so now let's break it down. A squared minus 9. 9 is a perfect square. So this right here is a difference of squares. So if we break down our numerator, I can break them into two parentheses. The first parenthesis, I'm going to right away split my a's up. The reason why I can do that is because my leading coefficient is 1. Anytime it's a 1, just go ahead and split the a's up. So now, negative 9. Okay, there we go. So negative 9. So we have 3 and 3. But one of them has to be negative because 3 times 3 gives me 9, but I'm looking for a negative 9. So I'll make the first one positive and the second one negative. It doesn't matter. If you make this negative and make that positive, it still works. But down here in the denominator, we can also split our a's because my leading coefficient is 1. So there's an a here and an a here. But now we have to think, what two numbers multiply will give me negative 27, and the same two numbers add to give me 6. Okay. All right. So some people are telling me, okay, so Pog is telling me 9 and negative 3. Because if I do 9 times negative 3, I will get my negative 27. And if I say 9 plus negative 3, that will give me my positive 6. Remember, if you have $9 and you spent $3, you have $6 remaining in the plus. All right. So now, there we go. Good. There we are. So here we go. Taking a look, we have to cancel out what's exactly the same in the numerator and the denominator. And it looks like a minus 3. Okay. So since they canceled out, and we don't have anything else to simplify, we basically have our answer. A plus 3 over A plus 9. All right. Yep. So Hank combined like terms. Super Sam from 7th grade, I know. It all keeps coming up. All right. Hey, Bree, how are you? All right. So Hank, you were talking about combined like terms. Where are my like terms? Okay. So the 3 and the 9 cannot be simplified in your answer. No, they cannot. The reason why, these are a term in itself. Okay, so it's basically like this 3 is attached to this A. Okay, this 9 is attached to this A. Because we have a plus sign, we cannot simplify anymore. Okay, because that A plus 3, that's representing one number, and that A plus 9, that's representing another number. Now, If the plus signs were not there and it's just multiplication up top and multiplication down in the denominator, yes, you can simplify. You will be able to cross out the A's and you'll be able to simplify the 3 and the 9. Okay. Background, yes. Good job, Charlie. All right. Use this answer. Well, if you're doing like a combination of things, you're doing some comparing shopping, this is what you're doing when you're trying to factor out and really trying to get your budget. This is some of the stuff, not all, but this is some of the stuff that you're actually using when you use, like, say, what's it called? The one that takes all your, well, not take all your money. Oh God, what's it called? Most businesses use it. And they keep track of your money. You can scan your receipts and they'll keep track of everything for you. It's not Keeper. Keeper is a brand of that. All of a sudden I just forgot what the name was. But anyway, usually some of these operations are being used behind the scenes for a lot of your financial planners. Okay? So I know it seems a little weird to be learning how to do that if you're just like, dude, I'll just buy the app, right? But hey, this is where we are. Okay, so let's take it up a slight notch. So let's do, we have 3m squared plus 9m plus 6 over 4m squared plus 12m plus 8. Okay, so we're stepping it up a notch. It's like I remember my math teacher used to be very pretty. Oh, well, it's a good memory for you, Sam. Is this the notebook that you have on sale on Amazon? Yes, it is, Jenny. Yes, it is. Okay. Not a problem. Yeah, there's 3 different covers, but the interior is still exactly the same. So you get to pick whatever cover you want. All right, so Eric, you're saying you're getting 3/4 in common? Okay. Oh, thank you, Bree. Yep. Keep going with that, Eric. Keep going with that. With the 3/4. Keep going with that. Let's see what you guys can come up with. And people that are just coming in, what we're doing is just simplifying rational expressions. A little bit of late Algebra 1, part of Algebra 2. Sometimes these are some of those questions that you'll see on the SAT, ACT, definitely on the AccuPlacer if they're trying to test into college algebra. So, you know, I just tried to show basic concepts and just learn how to do things. So when you take some of these assessments, you won't be so freaked out about it. Okay? All right. Well, thank you. Thank you for the follows and for the likes. I greatly appreciate it. And it's like right now we're just trying this problem. So we got Ozzy saying 3/4. Okay. So the same thing that Eric thinks. Alright. So if you know anyone that's getting about to test into the ASVAT, been getting a lot of increase of that lately. ASVAT, Accuplacer, thinking about getting their GED. You definitely are more than welcome to come in and just learn to appreciate math step by step, non-stressful. Try to keep this as cool, calm, and collective as we can. All right, so those traumas that you had when you were going through it, we're trying not to pass it on to the next generation. Just one person at a time. Okay? Okay. Gente, you're thinking 3/4 as well? Okay. All right. Thinking one more person. Okay, boom. Just ask for it and there it is. All right, Kalito. All right, so 3/4. Okay. Let's take a look at it. Now, anytime we're looking at factoring, here's the key. Anytime you see a square as your exponent and you're seeing plus signs, you should always ask yourself, do you have a GCF? That means you're going right into factoring. So your very first step, and I'm just going to look at one section at a time. All right, so we're going to just look at the numerator right now. So we have 3m squared plus 9m plus 6. Do we have a GCF? And what is it? Put it in the chat. What is my GCF if we do have one for the numerator? Okay, so Jonathan says 3. Thank you for the follow, Reed. Okay. Is that bolt sweat? I don't know. Okay. Oh, yeah. All right. Says 3. Clear 3. 3, 3, 3. Hey, Gabby. Low key says 3. Good. Gabby says 3. Excellent. All right. So now let's factor that 3 out. So if we only have the 3, it's not 3m, it's just the 3 because that 6 does not have an m associated with it, okay? So since it's just the 3, we're going to divide that original expression with our 3. So it's going to look something like this. We divide this by 3, divide this by 3, divide this by 3. So what we get next is we have m squared, because 3 divided by 3 gives me 1. The 1 is assumed to be in front. If you put the 1 in front, trust me, it's fine. You know, we're not going to kill anybody off, okay? So now we have 9 divided by 3. That gives me 3m. And then 6 divided by 3, since it's a positive, it's going to be plus 2. All right? So now we're going to look at our denominator. So we need to know, what do they have in common? Do we have a GCF for our denominator? Hey, Crystal. Oh, congratulations, Crystal. Crystal got a 90, y'all. Let's celebrate her for a moment. Thank you. All right, so I'm seeing all these 4s. Awesome. If you guys can give a moment, just give Crystal a little celebration. Okay? When one person wins, we all win. That's awesome. Thank you. Good job. All right. So if we factor out my 4, what's going to remain inside is 4m squared divided by 4 gives me my m squared, plus 12m divided by 4, that will give me my 3m, plus 8 divided by 4 will give me 2. All right. Clock in. There you go. Love it. All right. So now, what do you notice? From here on in, what do you notice with this problem? What do you notice? They can cancel. Thank you, Cosmo. Yes, we got the same exact expression that's inside the parentheses. Same signs, same numbers, everything. Now, we could take some time to break them into individual parentheses, but why? Have you met me? You know I'm lazy. Anytime I can get a shortcut in, that's what we're going to do. And then plus, the reason why I say it like that, and I'm not trying to shortchange what goes on in the classroom, but I'm really gearing a lot of my instruction towards those people that are taking those standardized assessments, right? The SATs, the ACTs, the AccuPlacer, the ASVAT, and GED. They don't really care how you got the answer. They just care that you are bubbling in the right answer. But you have to have some knowledge in order for you to figure out what you are canceling out. So since those two cancels out, what remains is our 3/4. And I know once we get into factoring, we get so tunnel vision that, I got to finish the answer, because that's how, especially my generation, was trained. You have to give me the answer from beginning to end in full details. But when you take any kind of standardized test, that logic goes out the window. And it's really hard for people to break that. Okay? But we still have the content knowledge, but we just have to remember, do some work, stop, look at your answer choices, process elimination. Do a little bit more work, stop, look at your answer choices, pick your final answer, on to the next one. Okay, that's that mindset. All right, that is that mindset. Derivatives, derivatives and integrals, yes. I've been helping a couple students with those. Hate it. I'm starting to, despise. I know for me, definitely statistics. Statistics can go into the burning depths of hell of which it came. But that's our life. Our life is surrounded by statistics. It's crazy. All right. So let's keep this party going. If there's any questions, please, guys, do not hesitate to ask. Okay? Do not hesitate to ask, because I really want to make sure that you understand the concepts and we can get all of this done. Because the way you guys are going, today might be a short day. It's really nice out here in Baltimore, so, Plus, I got to mow my lawn. Jesus. Well, I mowed it last week, so it's not that bad, but, I don't want, all the animals thinking they're in the freaking Serengeti or something. Yes, the answer was 3/4. You got it right. Oh, you're in Cockeysville? Oh, Viking Queen. Free math class for college hunk. Ugh, no. Just say win-win. No. Then all of a sudden he wants to move in. That's how they be out here. People don't just be like, hey, yo, oh, that's very interesting. They'll be like, wanting to mow your lawn. Next thing you know, they want to move in. Nah, sissy. I already got rid of one. Got rid of one man-child. I am good for right now. I need a break. That was almost 12 years of my life. I turned 40, and then a week later, I got married. And I was like, and everything just went to hell. Went to hell on fire. But you know. All right, so Pog Champion 2022 is saying 6 and -7. In a basket. With gasoline draws on. Blue flame. The hottest part. Woo. Thank you for entertaining me, guys. Meanwhile, TikTok's like, you know what? How can we shut this girl down? She got over 400 people up in here. On a Friday afternoon. All right. Yay, shortcake. How are you? Oh, Professor TK. How are you doing? Now, I always say this at the end, but you know, since you're here, I always get all my peoples that are ready. I say this at the end of all my videos, but if there's anyone that's looking for a chemistry teacher, Professor TK is your person. I'm not sure if you also go live in the evenings, but I know you go at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So talk to me, put it in the chat, tell me what you're doing. All right. But also for my nursing people, if you guys need some more support with your diagnosis calculations, make sure you follow a blessed RN. And then also after me, like around 2 o'clock my time, we have Miss T from Impact Math 19. She does like the TEAS test, ASVAT, and GED. So if you want more of the practice and more of like word problems and everything like that, definitely hit her up as well. And then if you want to learn how to add, subtract, multiply, or divide, or maybe even teach your little ones how to do it using the abacus, my friend Learning with Lynette, she is amazeballs with this. She's basically modernizing how to use the abacus. And the abacus is not a new thing. It's been around for centuries. Okay, that's what we originally used in order to calculate math. Okay, all right, plugging away. Okay. Oh, okay. Just on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Got you. All right. Yep. I always have you on my paper. All right. Now, what's going on here, guys? Do we have a GCF? Okay. So you're saying 2 and -21. Okay, Jonathan, yes, it was a no. Definitely not. Because we have 2, we have -1, and -21. So now we're going to have to do, remember the AC method? Okay, yes, the X method on both. Good, Trap Queen. Oh, Trap Queen, go ahead. She's putting everything out there. Oh, Trap Queen Roy. Okay, let me get the last part. All right, so now let me slide and shrink a little bit, just so we can get everything in here. And we're just going to focus just on the numerator. So we have our A, which is 2. We have our B, which is a -1. Always take the sign. The sign is always to the left of your number. So for the 2, there wasn't anything in front of the 2, so that's why it's a +2. Then our C is -21. Okay, so if we multiply our A and our C together, we're going to put it up here, and we're going to rewrite our B down there. We multiply my A and my C, we get -42. And our B is a -1. All right. Am I completing the square? No. I'm not completing. I'm doing what's called the AC method. Okay, multiplying the first and last terms. Pretty much. All right. So now, we need to figure out what two numbers multiplied together will give me a negative 42 and add together to give me a negative 1. Now, if multiplication is not your strong suit, and believe it or not, a lot of people, it isn't. Because once we had that graphing calculator introduced into the classroom, multiplication wasn't really top dollar. But knowing that information in my handy dandy notebook, I'm going to look up 42. So when I get to 42, I have multiples of 1 and 42, 2 and 21, 3 and 14, and 6 and 7. Now, one of these doesn't matter. Well, it does matter, but one of these have to be negative. But which pair would give us close to that negative 1? I think, Pog, you said it earlier. Okay. So here's the thing. You can put it into Copilot, and that's perfectly fine. But here's the thing. When it's time for you to take the assessment, there's going to be times you don't, and you can't even have a calculator, right? So we're saying 6 and negative 7, Jonathan says. Pog, I think, said 6 and negative 7 as well. I like to give credit when credit's due. Oh, for the bottom. Okay, he did it for the bottom first. Okay, so we definitely have a positive 6 and a negative 7. So coming back here, we have 6 and 7, and the 7 is going to be negative. Because 6 times negative 7 gives me negative 42, and 6 plus negative 7 gives me negative 1. So now, a lot of you guys like to do the middle term. I kind of like my fractions. So I write the a twice with the variable. So I have 2x and 2x. I have a 6 for one and a negative 7 for the other. Reason why I'm doing this, each of these ratios is representing a parenthesis. So this first one, I need to reduce. I can reduce it by 2. So this 2 is now a 1. And this 6 is now a 3. So if I want to factor this, my first parenthesis is going to be 1x, or x, plus 3. And my second parenthesis is going to be 2x minus 7. So this, I'm just going to put the n to give me remind me that that's my numerator. Okay? So that's the true way of doing the AC method, by putting into ratios and then simplifying. Now, a lot of you guys probably went back to the original expression and replaced the negative x with the 6x minus 7x and then did grouping. Yes, you can do that too, and you should get exactly the same way. Okay? So that is my numerator. Now we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to do it for the denominator. Again, and I'm going to change colors. I'm going to make this one blue. Again, we have 2, we have negative 15, we have 28. Okay? So right now, there isn't a GCF. So we have to do our A, which is 2, our B, which is negative 15, and our C, which is 28. So all we do is multiply our A and our C and rewrite our B. So 2 times 28. What do we got? 2 times 28. Okay. It's okay. We're going to take it step by step. Okay, good. Good. Phoenix, how are you? Good. Cosmo. So we got our 56. Good. Good job. So now rewriting our b, which is a negative 15. Okay. Good. So now we need to think what two numbers multiplied together will give me 56 and add together to give me a negative 15. So since this is positive and this is negative, both of them are going to have to be negative numbers. So let me go back to my factor chart. We're looking at 56. So for 56, we got factors of 1 and 56, 2 and 28, 4 and 14, and 7 and 8. Which one of these, if I add them together, a negative 15? Good, Kim. Good. Nicole, good. I know Pog, you said it earlier as well. Good. Nice, Phoenix. All right. Forgot the sign. All right. There you go. All right. So since we got that 7 and 8, and both of them are going to be negative, so we got negative 7 and negative 8. Now remember, it doesn't matter which one comes first. Okay, it doesn't matter at all. So now that we have our factors, if I do it as a fraction, I'm going to show it because I think a lot of people are like, I've never seen that way before. We take whatever our value of a is, we write it out twice, so that'll be 2x and 2x. We take the numbers that we just found for the factors, so it'll be a negative 7 and a negative 8. Now we look to reduce the fractions. So 2x, negative 7, they're both prime, so that doesn't get factored. But the 2 and the negative 8 does. They can be reduced by 2. So that means this 2 is now a 1, and this negative 8 is a negative 4. So now, all we have to do is set up our two parentheses. Each parenthesis represents each of the ratios. So for this one, it's going to be a positive 2x minus 7. And since we reduced it, use the reduced number, so 1x. So 1x is the same as saying x minus 4. So this is our denominator. Okay. All right. Good. So now, study calculus. Ugh, I know. Some parts of calculus I actually do pretty good at. Okay. So, but I feel that once you understand, and this is what's making me survive calculus, because I haven't seen it in a long time, but I do have a couple students that are just like, I don't want anyone else to tutor me, I want you. And I'm like, I guess I'm gonna learn calculus again. But if you understand these concepts, so this one we had x plus 3. Oops. Fans trying to blow my papers away. And 2x minus 7. My denominator was 2x minus 7 times x minus 4. Okay. What do we notice? What do we notice? Okay, so Jason's saying we're eliminating. Good. Kim says the 2x minus 7 are the same. We can cancel. Lily said we can cross out. Shortcake says 2x minus 7 are the same. Same. Tina says 2x minus 7. Yes, the denominator is different. Can cancel the 2x minus 7. Phoenix, good job, everyone. Whatever's in the numerator and is also in the denominator, they can cancel out. And then we write down what's left. So we have our x plus 3 and our x minus 4. That is your answer. Yeah, this one was a little tedious. However, you guys handled it like a champ. Yep, and that's the answer, Phoenix. That's it. Because we can't simplify it anymore. Because that's what we're basically doing. All right. Okay. How are we feeling? Okay. You can use this to find critical points. Yes, you can. In factoring, if you're doing concavity. Yep. Yes, you can. In calculus. See, there's a lot of basic stuff. That's the one thing with math. It's never just one and done when you learn it. It always spirals back every time. They just put like a different name to it, but then like when you look at it, you're like, dude, that's slope. Or, oh, the derivative, that's easy. That's like the exponential property when you have an exponent and that just moves in. That's how you do the derivatives. Oh, you just multiply. Oh, okay, that's easy. Once you start recognizing, and I know it's hard to do, especially for you guys, because you're learning each section little by little. And every year it's like a different thing. And then, but for me, since I'm tutoring and I'm tutoring in different math content sometimes, I see the pattern and I'm like, oh, I did this with another kid, but they explained it this way. And you'll just be amazed. All right. Yep, all of these are on my YouTube. Yes. So if you ever want to see all of my videos, so this is book 3. So I started doing all the lives in February, and this is book 3. So all of these notes, not including today's obviously, but all of these notes that we have here, and I know Michael R would be like, Audrey, where are your notes? You should be selling those. And I am putting everything's all scanned up. But every time I'm about to push submit, something happens. All of a sudden a video glitches, and I don't know if God's just telling me, no, Audrey, don't do it anymore. Okay, but all of these are on my YouTube channel. So if you ever want to go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel, remember, subscribing on YouTube is free. Come on. All right, so you can just go to Audrey Codner, ACG Math Tutoring. All right, and then you just click on the link and you'll see TikTok Lives. There's an actual playlist called TikTok Lives. You can click on there, you can binge watch it, hear me and all my crazy antics. Hear me when I'm completely exhausted. Hear me when I'm amped up on Dr. Pepper. It's all kinds of fun. Yeah. Yes, radicals. I know. Because your baby's acting up. Okay. Yeah, not a problem. Not a problem. So yeah, but later on today, I will definitely have this live and direct. Okay. So I'm willing to see if we can do one more and then just call it a day. Because the next part I'm going to do is when we're multiplying, and then the next day is when we're dividing these radical expressions. And if there is a topic that you want me to go over, you can just DM me and just say, hey, Audrey, can you do function notations? And I'll be like, hey, it's already on YouTube. Or hey, I got a question on dividing polynomials or adding, subtracting polynomials, which we did not too long ago. But if there's something that I can go ahead and just put up that I didn't do yet. Last night we worked on percentages, and The night before we worked on decimals, and the night before that, fractions. Definitely need it, okay? All right, I'm assuming this is what my little sister's going to bring home today. Let me take a note just in case. Okay, go ahead, Kimberly. Yeah, I don't know what kids are young adults are learning, because around this time of year, there's testing, there's state testing, and then usually the kids and the teachers are completely burnt out, so they're either doing group activities or something else, or they're just basically trying to get through. Seniors, they're going to be graduating. I cannot believe some of them are going to be graduating in the next couple of weeks. In some states, they're going to be graduating in 2 weeks. Some people are graduating next week. Some people are going to be graduating at the end of this month. So time's flying. All right, not a problem. All right, so let me do one more, and then we will end it for today. So let me shut my yap and then write the problem down. Let's see. Let's try this one. Let's see if we can. Whoops. Oh, is it? Oh, nice, Kimberly. Good. Let's see. Can you explain how to use the Worskin to test for linear independence? I cannot, John. I'm going to be truthful. I've never heard of the Worskin. And I think you asked that last night, too. I was like, trust me, I'm not a complete genius. I can't even say I played one on TV. But I know what I know. Okay. And that's one thing about me. I will let you know if I can do something, yes or no. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I know my limitations. And also, Kimberly, if you notice that the concept is a little different, if you know what the topic is, you can just message me the topic and I'll try to add it to my list as soon as possible. Okay? I appreciate you guys being here. I really do. Like 120 people, 100. Okay, 122. It's awesome. All right. Whenever you're ready, put your answers in the chat. Whenever you're ready. Okay. L-dub, what do you mean by take out 3 on both sides? I think I know what you mean, but I just want to clarify. I'll pull out 3 to simplify. Okay. Now, quick suggestion. 36 and 12, there's something higher than 3. Okay, so Jor is saying that the denominator, we should pull out a 12mn squared. Do we agree? Because I saw what you're doing, which is true, but then you're going to have to simplify that again. Okay. There we go. I generally teach Monday through Thursday. If you follow me, you'll see like the very first pin. It actually has my schedule on there. Monday through Thursday, I'm usually here at 9:30 p.m. Fridays, I'm here at 1 o'clock. And Saturday and Sunday, I decided I'm going to go at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, Eastern Standard Time. Okay. All right. There's something missing, Pog. Not a problem. There's something missing. Not the numerator, but there's something missing in the denominator. There we go. There we go. All right. So remember, question marks is an answer as well. So if you're just like, I don't get this one, Audrey. I don't get it. Okay, question marks are well appreciated. It's not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of, you know what? I want to learn this. Okay? I know. You're like a walking calculator, man. Even I have to whip that little thing out once in a while. Oh, that sounds really lovely. Okay. So, all of a sudden, the numbers just grew into the group. Okay. So, if we take a look, the numerator is a monomial. Okay, there's not a plus sign or a minus sign separating the numbers or the variables. But down in the denominator, that's a binomial. Okay, 36 and 12, their greatest common factor is going to be 12. Okay, now there is one m there. There are 2 sets of m's here. So for the m's, they have at least one m in common. Remember, if both terms have the same variable, you always go for the one with the lowest exponent. Now for the n cubed versus the n squared. So there's 3 n's here, 3 sets of n's here, 2 sets of n's there. The lowest n is going to be my n squared. Okay. So now, with that being said, this is going to be my GCF. And I'm going to take this information and divide it just with the denominator. We're going to work on that numerator in a second. In fact, let me cover it up for right now. So now, 36 divided by 12, That gives me 3. Slide over so you can see. I think that's enough. And let's do this. Okay. So 36 divided by 12, that gives us 3. There is 1m here. We pulled 1m out, so they don't have any m's left. So I do not write an m. There's none left. So I have 3 n's here. I pulled out 2. There's 1 n left. 12 divided by 12 gives me 1. There's 2 m's here. We pulled 1 out. That means there's 1 m left. There's 2 n's here. We pulled out 2 n's. There's no n's left. So from here, we're just going to rewrite our numerator. 3m squared n cubed. So what I notice, this 3n plus m is going to stay in the denominator. But now, this 3 and the 12, you can simplify that. Or you can divide that. So 3 and 12, they both have 3 in common. So 3 divided by 3 gives me 1. 12 divided by 3 gives me 4. Now when we're dividing, remember we're going to subtract the exponents. Okay, good, Hexie. Okay, so now we have m squared divided by m. So if there's 2 m's there, we subtract 1 m, that means there's 1 m left. That's gone, but there's 1 m left. There's 3 n's. We're taking away 2 n's, so there is 1 n left. So what's left in my numerator is 1 m n. So I can just write m n because the 1 is understood. But what's left in the denominator, I think I'll do this. So what's left in the denominator is the 4 and the 3n plus m. So we got our 4 times the 3n plus m. This is your answer. Okay? All right, that is your answer. Okay, you see it now, Hexie? All right, nice, Kim. Oops. All right. I know, wow, math. All right. Okay, so I know some people have probably ventured on, which is fine. Okay. So now, still confused? So it's coming down to the whole simplifying, okay? Knowing how to divide those numbers. So once you found your GCF, that's a 12. And when it comes to the variables, you're taking what they have in common. So the lowest exponent here was to the first power. That's where this came from. Then look at the ends. The lowest exponent there is here. So once we did our dividing of the GCF to get what remains inside the parenthesis, we just rewrote the top. But now we're dividing. When we divide, we subtract the exponents. So there was 2 m's at the top. So if I write it like this, m times m, that gives me my m squared, divided by m. So when I divide, those two cancel out. I have 1 m left over. That's where this came from. So same thing with the ends. So if I said n times n times n and divided by n times n, these cancel, and I got one n left. And that's where this n came from. Whole numbers you can simplify or divide. Variables with the exponents, you have to subtract the exponents when you're dividing. And then all we did was clean things up. All right. I left you with the letter, with the variables. Okay, yes. So you're probably going to have to retrace what we did with exponents. So my suggestion is like revisit the video with exponents so we can get those properties of exponents, because that's what probably got you. Okay. Why not complete the denominator? Well, the denominator is basically completed. What, just do a distributive property? Yeah, go ahead. Have fun. It's going to be the same thing. Okay? Because I'll do that, but then I can't simplify it with the mn, because the m and the n doesn't have a plus sign. So it's not like I can do any more simplifying. So you can leave it like that. Okay, Dorian? All right. Hey, Austin. Just saw your little wave. Sorry. Okay. All right, guys. So this is where I'm going to wrap up. So I will see you guys tomorrow if you want to. I'll be here tomorrow night at 8:30 p.m., not a.m., because we don't have time for that. Because I probably have to go out and mow my lawn. So if anything, I'll see you tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. and we're going to be doing the rational expressions, but we're going to be multiplying them and just trying to find our common terms, but basically doing all of this times 2, possibly 3. Okay, so I'm going to download this and I'll put it up on my YouTube channel. So again, if you guys want to, go ahead and go to my YouTube channel. I think it'll probably be easier if I just do this. I just got buzzed. Why is that? Let me put the link in the comments so you can get that.
Are you a parent that's looking for some great...
Alright, and let me see if I can find my TikTok back. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I'll see you guys next time. So here is, if you want to copy and paste, if you can, to my YouTube channel, go ahead and subscribe to that. You can see TikTok lives and you'll see all the TikTok lives on there. And also I create shorts from some of those lives. So if there's something that you just need like a quick little refresher, go ahead and look over the shorts. And if you can comment, like, subscribe, share it. If you know of anyone else that's thinking about taking the ACT, SAT, Accuplacer, ASVAT, GED, or they're currently taking this in class and they just need a little resource, go ahead and share the wealth. All right? All right, you are so welcome. Whatsoever, not a problem. And again, if you want, you can go to my website. You can, if you need courses over the summer, I got courses over the summer to help you out to achieve whatever you need to achieve for all of your assessments. And also, the math notebook is available for sale. All right, guys, have a lovely rest of your day. And if you want to do a Google review for ACG math tutoring, I will accept that as well. Okay? So enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you possibly tomorrow. Okay? God love you, and you are amazing. Don't let anyone tell you anything different. All right? Keep being awesome. Okay. Bye now. Oh, and if you want, see my friend, she's on there live now. Impact Math 19 if you want to do some more practice. Okay? Shoot over there right now. Okay? Oh, sorry. I think someone's like, no, wait. Okay? Impact Math 19. So with Miss Taylor. Alrighty. All right, have a lovely day, and I'll see you tomorrow. All right, bye.